There was a rather serious car accident in the parking of Prentice dorms last night.
And all the parties have been contacted and insurances are involved as most accidents happen, and police were involved as most accidents will involve police as well.
Several cars were damaged, including 2 that were severely damaged. There was at least 1 person injured and reportedly taken to the hospital to have glass removed from her arm. The person who was said to have caused the accident was driving a pickup truck and was reportedly intoxicated. Witnesses say the truck was going as fast as 40 miles per hour through the parking lot. John Cameron, Valley City City Administrator, announced yesterday that he would be resigning that post effective November 11th. Cameron said he is planning to take a job as a city manager in the southern part of the U.S. He also said the fighting with former police chief Dean Ross devolved into personal attacks and that it's important for the city government to have a clean break with those recent fights. City Commissioner John Wager said he was disappointed, but Cameron was convinced he had become the face of the city's controversies. Grace on Campus invites you to Miracles, Wishful Thinking, or God's Intervention this Sunday at 5 p.m. with Father Michael Johnson. Father Johnson is the priest in charge of St. John's Episcopal Church in Moorhead, Minnesota. Every Sunday, St. John's offers 3 worship services in 3 different languages. Father Johnson, once a professional mime, has traveled the country and the world, teaching the ministry of Christian healing. He will share from his varied and rich life, including his experiences with healing miracles. This takes place this Sunday at 5 p.m. Stephen Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, died Wednesday at the age of 56. His death was announced by Apple, the company Mr. Jobs and his high school friend Stephen Wozniak started in 1976 in a suburban California garage. A friend of the family said the cause of death was due to complications of pancreatic cancer. Mr. Jobs had a long and public struggle with the disease, yet remained the face of the company as he underwent treatment. He had surgery in 2004 and received a liver transplant in 2009, then took 3 medical leaves of absence as Apple's chief executive before stepping down in August and turning over the title to Timothy Cook, who was the chief operating officer. When he left, he was still engaged in the company's affairs until the day he couldn't do it anymore. Sarah Palin, the former governor of Alaska, announced yesterday that she would not join the field of Republican candidates seeking her party's nomination, but will still work to oust President Obama. Her decision took the Republican world by surprise. It also raised the question of how intensely she plans to be involved in the race and whether she intends to endorse a candidate or simply be a commentator or critic. The long-term impact of her decision is uncertain because, as she demonstrated in the Republican midterm elections last year, her endorsement is a hot ticket. Palin said she plans to use her celebrity status to manipulate political influence without the support of a Republican infrastructure. The question of whether Palin would join the presidential race had been one of the most debated among veteran political observers in Washington. Many assumed that she would decide against a bid because of her financial success as a best-selling author, political commentator, and reality TV star. Thomas Tranströmer is a Swedish poet and the newest Nobel Prize winner. He was awarded with it today for his work in literature. Tranströmer, who is 80, has written more than 15 collections of poetry, many of which have been translated into English and 60 other languages. He studied literature, history, religion, and psychology at the University of Stockholm and graduated in 1956. His following in America grew in the 1960s. Since 1901, 103 Nobel Prizes have been awarded in literature. Along with the award comes 10 million kroner, or about $1.5 million. It was another gorgeous day, Jamestown, albeit a little windy. Jessica Gulseth can tell us more if we can expect days like this in our near future. Jessica?
This afternoon we saw a high of 77 degrees. It's a little cloudy and very windy. If at all today you decided to go out and study, you learned very quickly that that was a terrible idea. Tonight there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, so we may get a little wet, but it will be nearly 62 degrees. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high near 73 degrees with a bit of a breeze. Looking ahead, most of the weekend will be breezy with highs in the low 60s. Sunday night we may see some showers again. No worries though, it's only about a 30% chance. Monday we celebrate Columbus Day. The first Columbus Day was October 12th in 1792. For those non-math majors, that was 219 years ago. Monday we may see some showers flowing in from Sunday night, and we will see temperatures in the mid-60s. Tuesday will be a little bit cooler, and we may see some showers again. That's your weather, Jamestown. And back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Jessica. The Jimmy's volleyball team has a big weekend ahead of them. They play Valley City State tomorrow, and Mayville State and Dickinson State both on Saturday in the DAC Super Weekend, with all 3 matches counting in the conference standings. The Jimmies are currently 14-8. The men's and women's cross-country teams travel to Aberdeen, South Dakota tomorrow night to run in the Roe Granger Invitational. The Jimmy football team is hoping to bounce back after their tough loss to Valley City, as they travel to Wisconsin this weekend to take on the University of Wisconsin lacrosse. That's all for the news tonight on this 6th day of October. Join us again tomorrow when we once again connect the campus with the community. I'm Courtney Oliver. Good night, Jamestown.